On May 27, 2011, Shakeel Boothe was found in his home with no signs of life. His once promising life and any dreams he had for the future was tragically cut short. Another child who was taken from Jamaica and flown to Canada for a promised better life. But like others before him, it seemed these children were destined to end up facing disastrous outcomes rather than living that promised better life. Shakeel was just 10 years old when he was found lifeless in the home he shared with his father, stepmother, and 8-month-old sibling. At the time, police were not giving any specific information other than to say that it appeared that Shakeel had been armed and that he had sustained injuries at least 2 days before he passed away. This is the true crime story about Shakeel's short life and tragic demise. If you find videos like these absorbing or informative, please support the channel by clicking the like button. A lot of these cases are not given the exposure or attention they should be given or deserve. So based on this, I decided to shed some light on a few of these cases. However, because of the nature of most of these videos, they have limited or no ads. If you are so inclined and want to chip in and help support my research, you can use the PayPal link below to donate to the channel. Your support is much appreciated. Shaquille's dream of a better life. Shakeel Boothe was born in Jamaica, where he resided with his grandmother and his mother, who was separated from his father. Shakeel harbored dreams of living with his father and stepmother in Canada, hoping for a more promising life than the one he lived in Jamaica. His excitement flowed when in 2010, his father Garfield Boothe and stepmother Nichelle Boothe came to visit him in Jamaica and informed him of their plans to take him to live with them in Canada. With much anticipation, Shakeel packed his belongings and soon bid farewell to his mother and the grandmother, who embraced him and urged him to be good and happy. Regrettably, Shakeel's dreams transformed into a harrowing nightmare upon his arrival in Brampton, Ontario in 2010. Instead of love and care, he was subjected to mistreatment and neglect by the very individuals who were meant to love and protect him. For months on end, Shakeel endured being restrained to his bed, subjected to harsh treatment and deprived of sustenance by his father and stepmother. They lashed him with a belt, rained down punches and kicks into his body, and withheld food from him. He was isolated from his siblings and the outside world, and he was treated as an outsider. Confined in a dark and squalid room, Shakeel's pleas for assistance and signs of illness and injury went unanswered and unnoticed. Shakeel's body bore witness to a multitude of bruises, scars, and wounds. He suffered from severe malnutrition, his weight plummeting to a mere 60 pounds at the age of 10. He developed health issues alongside internal injuries from the brutal incidents he endured. On May 27, 2011, he succumbed to his sufferings, alone and in pain in the same bed where he had endured immense torment. His tragic situation was uncovered when his father called 911, alleging that Shakeel had stopped breathing. However, paramedics and law enforcement soon recognized that something was gravely amiss. They found Shakeel's lifeless body cold and rigid, with froth emanating from his mouth. They noticed the chain and the padlock on his bed, the belt and the signs of harm, as well as the foul odor and squalor of the room. There were no personal belongings or toys to be found. It was evident that Shakeel had been subjected to ill treatment prior to his tragic end. Subsequent investigations revealed that Shakeel's father and stepmother had a history of domestic issues and child mistreatment. They had relocated from Jamaica to Canada in 2009, leaving Shakeel with his grandmother initially. Even after taking him to Canada a year later, they failed to enroll him in school or seek medical attention for him. They concealed him from relatives and neighbors, deceitfully misrepresenting his whereabouts and well-being. They unjustly assigned him the blame for their difficulties and vented their anger and frustration upon him.
I seen him out in the wintertime, in a pair of shoes too big for him, no gloves and no jacket, in a blizzard, shoveling the driveway. I should have sent something then.
The sweet, smiling face of 10-year-old Shakeel Boothe, a tidy home on a quiet cul-de-sac. The picture of what may have happened here gets grimmer with each passing day.
It is a difficult case. It's an upsetting case for probably everyone involved.
Neighbors were shocked because Garfield had been bragging to them about how he had gone to Jamaica to get his son and bring him to Canada, where he was going to get a good education and live a better life. Dan Gregg, a close neighbor, said that Shakeel was a sweet boy, and even though he was shy, he was getting better about it and had good manners, showing he had been taught well. Dan said it was very odd that he had not seen Shakeel in over a month, since he knew that someone had given him a bike in April. He was never seen outside riding his bike. A few months before that, Shakeel was seen outside in the driveway wearing shoes that were too big for him, no gloves and no coat. He was shoveling snow from off the driveway all alone. Dan said that Garfield had spoken of how Shakeel would be outside in Jamaica, playing in the jungle or in the river. Garfield said that he was having trouble getting Shakeel to go outside in Canada and talked about the video games he had bought him. Neighbors also said that while Shakeel had been to school the previous year, he had not been to class at all that year. Garfield had told school officials that Shakeel had gone back to Jamaica to live with his mother. Both Shakeel's father and stepmother were apprehended and charged with second-degree murder. They pleaded not guilty and endeavored to shift blame onto one another. They asserted that they loved Shakeel and had attempted to discipline him, but portrayed him as a challenging and disobedient child. They professed ignorance regarding the circumstances of his situation and claimed to be shocked and sorrowful at his passing. However, the jury remained unconvinced. They were presented with distressing evidence of Shakeel's mistreatment and neglect, as well as a graphic photograph of his body. They heard the accounts of Shakeel's siblings, who had been witnesses to some of the mistreatment and were too frightened to speak up. Furthermore, they were presented with the expert opinion of a forensic pathologist, who confirmed that Shakeel's situation was a result of extensive blunt impact trauma, and that he had chronic injuries, malnutrition, and infections contributing to his tragic outcome. On April 5, 2014, Garfield Boothe and Nichelle Boothe were convicted of second-degree murder. They were sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole for 18 years. The court deemed them to have displayed no remorse or empathy for Shakeel and to have committed a heinous and horrendous crime. Shakeel Boothe's tragic situation profoundly impacted the public, raising questions concerning the child protection system and the prevention of child mistreatment. Shakeel's short life story serves as a somber reminder of the vulnerability and innocence of children. It further highlights the duty of us adults in safeguarding children, regardless of whether they are our own or someone else's child. It also stands as a testament to the courage and resilience of children, some of whom, against the odds, managed to survive their ordeal. Shakeel Boothe deserved much better. He deserved to have lived, to grow, learn, play, love, and be loved. His story should never be forgotten. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it informative, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more true crime stories. If you have any thoughts or comments about this case, please share them below. Your input is greatly valued. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and thank you for watching.
Jamaica. Don't forget to drop a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe.